Hi, I'm Mike Hitchcock, Director of EHS for Kautex North America, and welcome to our winter safety video of our Kautex Safety Video Campaign Series. And when it comes to personal safety, both at home and at work, one element that can significantly increase our risk factors is the presence of cold weather situations. Every task that we carry out in the cold weather, however simple, brings with it riskier situations than if we were doing that same task in sunny and warm weather. Fortunately, not all Kautex facilities are located in harsh weather areas, but for those that are, just like in all risk factors, being prepared and ready for what you might face goes a long ways towards preventing injuries.
Last year across Kautex, there were 21 recordable injuries that occurred during the winter months. 9 of those were right here in North America. Not all of these injuries can be attributed to the cold weather season, but some of them certainly were a direct result of the winter weather. Let's have a look at a few case studies. In January of this year, a team member suffered a strained back injury during a slip and fall event while walking along a sidewalk from the parking lot to the building entrance. The icy conditions were the result of a leaking rain gutter that drains water from the facility roof, and because the leaking water was able to collect on the sidewalk that is frequently used by pedestrians until it froze during the cold weather. This event taught us that once we learn of a risk, we need to remove or reduce it as quickly as possible and ensure that people completely avoid the risky area until it's restored to a safe condition. Although icy conditions are not typical to Livonia, they are a possibility, so we need to be prepared for all risks that have the potential to be present. In February of 2014, a team member at the Windsor facility also fell prey to the slip and fall. This time, in a parking lot as they headed back to their parked car. It was during an extreme cold weather spell that brought excessive snow and ice to the area. The parking lot had been plowed, but not salted, allowing water in the parking lot to freeze, creating a very dangerous situation. The ice, along with the poor condition of the pavement in the parking lot, made for treacherous conditions. This is why it is vital for all facilities to have an active cold weather plan in place so that snow and ice conditions can be managed, reducing the risks as soon as they become present. This event also led to a significant investment into the resurfacing of the entire parking area, making it much safer for foot travel during the winter months. Another cold weather injury occurred in Kautex Villa in March of 2011, when a team member on the midnight shift went to an outside area to look for supplies and drop trailers. Due to the poor night visibility and the presence of ice in the area, the team member slipped while walking, resulting in a fractured ankle. This was a harsh reminder that carrying out activities in the dark, combined with winter conditions, can result in serious harm or injury. Just about every work task we do here at Kautex takes on a greater amount of risk when it's conducted in cold weather conditions. Now let's look at some of the most common risk factors that we find across our plants. Outdoor propane dispensing and exchange. Stepping on and off of a forklift in cold weather, or lifting and exchanging canisters or cylinders on slippery surfaces can increase the risk of injury. Snow and ice removal. The physical work required to manage winter conditions presents risk of strains, slips, falls, exposure to cold weather, and physical exhaustion. Working at heights and roof activities. Anytime you add snow and ice, cold weather temperatures, and wind to height activities, the element of risk for any task automatically increases. It's a reality that many of our plants have work tasks on roofs and ladders. Special precautions and restrictions need to be in place to be sure that work is conducted safely. Outdoor material handling and logistics activities. This is a very high-risk area to start with, but when you add the elements of winter weather, it can create a very dangerous work environment. Bringing snow into the facility and onto the shop floor. A reality of our business is that most of our plants need to store empty finished goods racks outdoors. This can present a risk if snow-covered racks are brought indoors and the snow melts, creating the risk for dangerous slip and falls throughout the facility. This is why every facility impacted by cold weather needs to have a protocol in place to remove snow from racks and to ensure that they are dry prior to introducing them to the shop floor. Winter safety doesn't stop at the workplace. There are even more risks that we come across outside of work. Whether it's traveling snow-covered roads, conducting home maintenance or chores, or simply getting from point A to point B, the winter elements can impact everything we do. This is why it's important to always stop and evaluate the risks, and to be sure that we are properly prepared for whatever we may be faced with, no matter how small the risk may seem. One significant risk that often increases in winter months is carbon monoxide poisoning. Since carbon monoxide is a colorless and odorless gas, exposure can often cause sudden illness or death long before it's detected. Be careful when working with appliances or equipment that emit carbon monoxide, especially in enclosed spaces. It's a good idea to have carbon monoxide detectors throughout your home and to check them regularly. Our winter safety campaign will ensure that an in-depth cold weather plan is in place for managing outdoor areas impacted by snow and ice. There will also be a communicated protocol for removing snow from racks and supplies before they're taken to the shop floor. But in order to prevent team members from experiencing cold weather injuries, please help us by highlighting any unsafe conditions you find here at Kautex.
The winter season brings with it all kinds of fun and exciting activities, but it can also place us and our families in some situations that present some serious risk. Work tasks, travel, outdoor chores and activities all present an added risk when conducted in cold weather conditions. So by slowing down to look at the risks around you, by being aware of the dangers that are present, and being prepared to deal with those dangers, you can put yourself and your family in a much better position to make sure that Old Man Winter doesn't spoil your winter season.